Welcome back to Anfield Wire, your home for the latest Liverpool news, transfer updates and all the biggest stories from Anfield. Today we've got huge updates on Mohamed Salah, Steven Gerrard, Jeremie Frimpong, Trent Alexander-Arnold and more. Before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Anfield Wire and turn on notifications so you never miss a Liverpool update. Let's get into it. Jeremie Frimpong agrees with Arne Slot on what Liverpool must do next season. Jeremie Frimpong, Virgil van Dijk and Arne Slot are all in agreement about what needs to change at Liverpool next season after a below-par campaign as Premier League champions. Liverpool star Jeremie Frimpong, who signed from Bayer Leverkusen in a transfer deal worth around $40 million, £29 million last summer, says next season has to be better for the Anfield side. Echoing the thoughts of club captain Virgil van Dijk, who recently labelled the campaign as unacceptable, Frimpong believes that Liverpool has to be back competing with the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City next term. As things stand, Liverpool is fourth in the Premier League standings, but it is not going to end the season with any silverware. Qualifying for the Champions League is the minimum aim and should allow for a reset during the summer. Liverpool's a big club. We're here for a reason. We're not here to participate, Frimpong told the Anfield Wrap. If you play for Liverpool, that means you have to bring something for the team, not just to be there. Obviously, this season, I don't think it's a Liverpool standard for sure. We need to really compete for trophies. While he admitted that he won't be able to turn around fan opinion before the season ends, Slot said after last weekend's 1-1 draw with Chelsea that he is 100% convinced that next year will be different. Injuries have been a major problem this season, while Liverpool has struggled to build any momentum. It has been lacking in key areas, with a clear need to inject fresh energy and pace into its roster in the transfer market. This season, the fans, will have their opinion and it will not change, Slot said. But if we can have the summer that we are planning to have, then I'm 100% convinced that we will be a different team next season than we are now. Different in terms of results, different in how things look, but it's not always that simple because sometimes you know what you have to do, but it's not always possible to also get exactly what you want. For us, for me, it's really clear what we are lacking this season, and we're trying with the players we have now because one of the things we are lacking is players that are fit. But the players we have available now, I think again, like last week, like this week, showed in the second half that they want to give everything and try to push. It was not enough last week and wasn't enough this week to find that goal, which we maybe deserved if you looked at where the game was played. Because for me, the game was mainly played in the second half, in their half. And that is what we've seen a lot of times this season. But we've also seen a lot of times this season that being the dominant team doesn't lead to chance after chance after chance. Steven Gerrard says Liverpool can't sell one player and outlines Trent Alexander-Arnold wish. Steven Gerrard says Liverpool need to maintain its local heartbeat amid speculation that Curtis Jones could follow Trent Alexander-Arnold out of the exit door this summer. Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard says the Reds should not sell Curtis Jones this summer, while he also harbours a hope that Trent Alexander-Arnold might return to Anfield in the future. Jones drew interest from Inter Milan in January, and come the summer, he will only have 1 year left on his contract at Liverpool. So far, under Arne Slot, he has struggled to nail down a regular place in the starting 11, even when Alexis McAllister and others have had more difficult seasons. As a result, if there is interest in Jones again during the summer, it is possible that he could move on unless a new contract can be agreed in the meantime. I think the academy system at our club is crucial and vital, Gerrard told BFM Radio ahead of an appearance in a charity game in Kuala Lumpur. It's important we keep producing homegrown talents. I think naturally being around the city, growing up in the city, we understand the demands of the club, the style, what the fans want. It's embedded in us because we know the city inside out. I wouldn't allow Curtis Jones to leave. I wished and hoped that Trent didn't leave us. Certainly you'll understand and respect every player has got their own career and can make their own decisions. But it's very difficult to replace a player of Trent's level because he is world class. Hopefully, he might return one day. I think it's critical and key that we keep producing homegrown talent. Earlier this week, Danny Murphy suggested that Liverpool should keep Jones over McAllister if there is a decision to be made between the two this summer. I think it's only a blow to lose one of them if whoever you bring in isn't better, Murphy told Ace Odds. I don't think they'd let either of them go unless they had a replacement coming in who they felt was better. Sometimes, although you have an affinity to players, it's exciting for fans to see new players come in and try and make the team better. I think McAllister has struggled a bit this season. He missed a lot of pre-season, which I don't think helped him. And I feel a bit for Curtis Jones because I think his versatility sometimes hampers him. He plays midfield, he plays right back, he's played on the left, he's played defensive midfield, he's played attacking midfield. He's never had a good sustained spell in one position. He's shown his quality and had some really good games, and I actually think he's been underused by Slot. But obviously Slot has the benefit of watching him train and seeing what he does. What Joe Gomez has said about Liverpool future amid Newcastle transfer links. Joe Gomez has admitted his Liverpool future remains uncertain amid summer transfer speculation, with the Reds set to formalise the arrival of Jeremie Frimpong as further emotional player exits loom at Anfield. Joe Gomez has admitted he faces an uncertain future at Liverpool, conceding that anything can happen when the transfer window opens this summer. The long-serving defender will reach 11 years at the club later this year, yet could attract interest from elsewhere, having previously been the subject of discussions between Liverpool and AC Milan last summer, as well as Newcastle in 2024. Gomez came close to departing Anfield on transfer deadline day last year, but remained at the club after a proposed deal for Mark Gahey, then of Crystal Palace, collapsed at the 11th hour when the Eagles were unable to find a replacement for the Englishman. The versatile 28-year-old has managed just 6 league starts this season and will enter the final 12 months of his Liverpool contract this summer, when the Reds will also formalise the signing of French defender Jeremie Frimpong, a deal agreed back in February. With Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson both set for emotional farewells at the end of the season, Gomez has acknowledged his own future remains unclear, stating, "I think anything can happen. I don't know is the honest answer. I've only got a year left on my contract, so I don't know. Whatever's meant to be will be, but I'm so grateful to have had this time here at this club. I always will be grateful to have had 11 years at a place like this. All I can do is be thankful, and we'll see." Gomez was speaking after a second-half cameo in Saturday's 1-1 draw with Chelsea, which was greeted by a smattering of boos at the final whistle. After taking a 1-0 lead through Ryan Gravenberch's early strike, the Reds were pegged back by an Enzo Fernandez free kick as Chelsea earned the first Premier League point of its last 7 matches. I guess it just is a summary of our year, and it's just a reaction to the whole year, and that's fair enough, Gomez added regarding the frustration from the terraces. The fans pay their hard-earned money to come and watch us, and they're entitled to show their frustration in the same way they cheer us. Fundamentally, the supporters want to see us give it all, but that is on the ball, trying to play progressive football, trying to be intense, but also off the ball, put a foot in, try and win a tackle. That's just what is expected of us, and being passive in any sense is not what I know and no one wants to see. It is just trying to implement that day in, day out, but it's not easy at the same time. You can't undermine that. This place comes with a lot of expectation and pressure, and that takes time to understand and really get a full picture of. We have to just do our best to rally around each other and try to get the boys' heads in the right direction. There's frustrations, and there's been plenty of voices and discussions and meetings from different people, staff, players. Black and white thing now, we need Champions League football. That's the objective, we get that. We dust ourselves off and we go again and just go into the year and have a good start. 15 players at risk of missing Liverpool's game at Aston Villa, as update expected. Liverpool faces Aston Villa on Friday, with the club's place in next season's Champions League still to be confirmed, and the Reds are set to be without a number of players. Liverpool returns to action on Friday with a Premier League visit to Aston Villa. The Reds are still awaiting confirmation of exactly who will be available for the fixture against the side they could effectively guarantee finishing above with a win. Florian Wirtz became Liverpool's latest injury concern after sitting out Saturday's 1-1 home draw with Chelsea due to a stomach infection. And Arne Slot is hopeful it will keep him sidelined for only a short period. The key question is whether Alisson Becker will be fit to return after missing the last 9 matches due to a hamstring injury. Georgi Mamardashvili is on standby to once again fill in between the posts, having come back last weekend following a nasty wound. Mohamed Salah is another player whose availability remains uncertain after sitting out 2 matches with a minor hamstring issue. Liverpool manager Slot is expected to provide further clarity when he speaks to the press on Thursday ahead of the fixture. Both Ibrahima Konate and teenage winger Rio Ngamoha hobbled off during the Chelsea match, though Slot subsequently confirmed that both players had reported suffering from cramp. Hugo Ekitike faces a lengthy rehabilitation after going under the knife last month for an Achilles tendon rupture sustained against Paris Saint-Germain. Conor Bradley is ruled out for the remainder of the season following a knee operation in January. Teenage centre-back Giovanni Leone is also sidelined until the summer after undergoing ACL surgery in September. Wataru Endo is continuing his rehabilitation from the ankle surgery he had in February and is moving closer to rejoining full training. Young prospects Stefan Bajcetic and Jayden Danns have yet to appear in the Premier League this campaign and are unlikely to feature. For Aston Villa, Boubacar Kamara remains sidelined for the season, while Amadou Onana and Alisson are not anticipated to be fit. Loweny Harvey Elliott is ineligible to play against his parent club. Liverpool stars gather at restaurant for Mohamed Salah's farewell party. Mohamed Salah was joined by Liverpool teammates, including Andy Robertson and manager Arne Slot, at his farewell party, held at Bacaro Restaurant on Castle Street in the city centre. Mohamed Salah, Arne Slot and Andy Robertson were among those spotted at a well-known city centre eatery on Tuesday. The Liverpool stars came together to mark the occasion with a farewell gathering in Salah's honour, held at Bacaro on Castle Street. As seen in pictures published by the Liverpool Echo, a sizable crowd of supporters assembled outside the venue after catching sight of Salah and Robertson arriving at the popular Italian restaurant on Tuesday for the private event. Fans speaking to the Echo revealed they had been waiting from 6 p.m. local time for a glimpse of their favourite players. Among them was Will, 24, who recently relocated to Liverpool from Colorado and has been a devoted Red supporter since childhood. It is understood that Liverpool had exclusively reserved Bacaro for Salah's farewell celebrations on Tuesday. This comes as little surprise, given that the city centre hotspot, renowned for its small plates, is frequently booked up weeks ahead. Salah was joined by several guests throughout the evening, including fellow player Robertson and head coach Slot. Slot departed the gathering at approximately 9:20 p.m. local time, where he was met by a handful of supporters eager for a photograph or autograph. Salah made a swift exit shortly afterward, with Robertson following close behind. Lively music could be heard emanating from within the restaurant, with a DJ providing the soundtrack as the remaining guests carried on with the festivities. Salah is set to depart the club this summer and is currently sidelined following an injury sustained against Crystal Palace last month. On March 24, Mohamed Salah posted a heartfelt video on social media, confirming that the current season will be his last at Liverpool. The Egyptian forward declared that the day has come for his departure, revealing he will be moving on after 9 seasons with the club. While Salah had signed a contract extension in April 2025 that was due to run until 2027, he reached a mutual agreement with Liverpool to bring the deal to an end a year ahead of schedule. The arrangement enables him to depart as a free agent in June 2026 as a mark of good faith from the club in recognition of his outstanding years of service. In his farewell message, Salah described Liverpool as far more than a football club, referring to it as a passion, history and spirit. He reflected that he never anticipated how profoundly the city and its people would become woven into his life over the past decade. Jamie Carragher's first words after securing surprise new job in soccer. Jamie Carragher has been named as an advisor to non-league Marine based in Crosby, with the former Liverpool defender saying he is pleased to support the club in an advisory capacity going forward. Jamie Carragher has expressed his delight at becoming an advisor for non-league Crosby outfit Marine. The club earned back-to-back promotions in 2022 and 2024, and it will be keen to maintain that upward trajectory, with Carragher lending his expertise and knowledge to the board. Liverpool hero Carragher told Marine's website, "Marine is a proper community football club with good people involved and a clear vision for where it wants to go. I've enjoyed watching the progress the club has made over recent years, and I'm pleased to be able to support the club in an advisory capacity going forward." Chief Executive James Leary welcomed Carragher's appointment, saying, "This is a brilliant moment for Marine Football Club. Jamie is someone who genuinely cares about football and the local community, and he's followed closely what we've been building here over the last few years. His experience and relationships will be a huge help to the club as we continue moving Marine forward over the coming years." Marine is currently pursuing plans to construct a new ground as part of its continued ambitions for growth. Earlier in 2025, the club unveiled proposals for a new 5,000 capacity stadium. The National League North side has called its current home Rossett Park, commercially known as the Marine Travel Arena, on College Road in Crosby for over a century. However, Marine now plans to relocate to a new stadium on an 8.32-acre site on Edge Lane in Thornton. The stadium, designed by Crosby-based architects Diaz Associates, would be delivered in partnership with property developer Bellway Homes as part of a broader 30-acre development on land at Edge Lane. Marine has acquired 8.32 acres for £1, around $1.35, to facilitate the construction of the new ground. Marine is keen to preserve its College Road site as a community hub and sports centre. Nevertheless, the Marine Travel Arena only has seating for spectators on 3 sides, and its run-off areas, the safety boundary encircling the soccer field, are restricted, which the club says prompted it to seek a new home ground. Marine's fortunes were dramatically transformed by a fairy tale FA Cup third-round tie against Tottenham in January 2021. The match was played behind closed doors owing to lockdown restrictions in place at the time. The fixture proved to be a significant revenue boost for Marine, with 32,202 virtual tickets sold. The club has also ploughed considerable investment into the Marine Travel Arena, installing a 4G pitch and launching the 1894 bar and bistro. Ex-Liverpool man pitches VAR solution that might just work after Arsenal controversy. VAR took centre stage as Arsenal beat West Ham in the Premier League over the weekend, with the former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock suggesting a possible solution. Former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock has called for VAR to be scrapped if the only alternative is to continue in its current form, though he has pitched a solution. This weekend, perhaps the most important VAR overturn of all time was enforced by the referee Chris Kavanagh during the game between Arsenal and West Ham. A duel on David Raya was spotted that could mean the Premier League title going to the Gunners rather than Manchester City. It was just about the right decision, but there are still question marks about the consistency in the application of the technology. Overturns are for clear and obvious errors, though defining exactly where the line is on that is difficult. The VAR decision regarding Raya was probably the right call. You can't put your arm across the goalkeeper, Warnock said. However, why the decision took 5 minutes, I'll never know. One change that has been suggested is that both teams should have 2 opportunities to challenge a decision every game. If the challenge is successful and the decision is overturned, the team should keep that challenge rather than lose it. It would mean the game isn't stopped as much. Every single incident is checked by VAR at the moment. If nothing changes, VAR should be scrapped. However, it won't be scrapped because there's been too much money invested into the technology, but it is absolutely killing the game. From this summer onwards, leagues will have the opportunity to increase the powers that VAR has. It would be possible to introduce it to check the awarding of corner kicks, for instance. However, The Guardian has reported that it won't be arriving in the Premier League because PGMOL is concerned that it will increase delays in matches even further. It will be in place at the World Cup, though, with the temperatures meaning that a drinks break will come in for every half of soccer that is played at that tournament. Disrupting the flow of the game is less of a concern. From next season, VAR will check yellow cards that lead to a red card. At the moment, that system is only used for straight reds, but it has been decided to change it. IFAB, the body that governs soccer's rule changes, is expected to discuss the problem of grappling at corners, which has been particularly prevalent in the Premier League this season during the summer. There are no proposals on how to tackle the problem at this stage, though the former Premier League assistant Darren Cann suggested this week that players could be kept out of the 6-yard box when a corner kick is taken.